Hello cardboard lovers, it's Cardboard Badger here. I hope you're doing well, and today we have you another day's worth of Ikoria LAIR of Behemoth spoilers. There's some exciting stuff. So yeah, well, let's just get straight into it. We're going to start off with our first card, Lava Brink Adventurer. 2 and a white, we have a creature, a human soldier, with whenever Lava Brink Adventurer enters the battlefield, choose odd or even. The adventurer has protection from the chosen converted mana cost, so it's kind of semi-hex proof. Quite excited. Obviously, it's great. It's a 3/3 for 3, and it's a human as well. There are many things that could make human tribal pretty fantastic in this set. So yeah, great looking card. Our next card, and this is mighty fine for 1 white mana. We have In One Bite. It is a sorcery, and as an additional cost to cast this spell, tap and untap creature you control, and then you can exile target tap creature. Plus, you can put a +1/+1 counter on the creature that you tapped to cast this spell. This is excellent stuff. Your opponent attacks with a massive creature. You block it with something small, and then, as it is a sorcery, second main phase, you can tap one of your creatures. You can exile theirs. You can put a +1 counter on something you've got. It could have been a Growth Chamber Guardian, and then that will enable you to go and search your deck for another one. You could have put it on an Incubation Druid, which will then mean you will have additional ramp. There are so many things you can do with this card. It's 1 mana. It is amazing. Next, we have Thwart the Enemy. For 2 and a green, we have an instant with prevent all damage that would be dealt this turn by creatures your opponents control. So this is great because it doesn't say combat damage. It could be non-combat damage. It could be an ability of a creature like Torbrand, for example, Thane of Redfell. We don't want those 2 additional points of damage destroying us thanks to the Mighty Dwarf Noble. So yeah, there will be loads of ways that we can use this outside of combat. Excellent card indeed. Our next card, we have Go for Blood. For 1 and a red, we have a sorcery with target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. But it also has cycling for 1, which is great. So if cycling is your thing, to be able to have another card that enables that for 1 mana is fantastic. Our next card, we have Escape Protocol. For 1 and a blue, we have an enchantment with whenever you cycle a card, you may pay 1. And when you do, exile target artifact or creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So this just has value all over it. It's going to give you card draw, it's going to give you removal. You could target your Deputy of Detention, for example, and then bringing it back into the battlefield, exiling a non-land permanent that your opponent has, and everything else of the same name. There's tons of stuff you can do with this. I'm sure we're going to see it all over the place. It is a little bit terrifying. Our next card, we have Cunning Nightbonder. For 2 mana, hybrid mana, blue-black. We have a human rogue with flash, 2/2. And spells you cast with flash cost 1 less to cast and can't be countered. I'm sure we're going to see this all over the place. It could go in Orzhov Humans. It could go in mono blue. It could go in Is It. The opportunity to make your flash creatures and spells even cheaper. It's also an added bonus. So all round, I think there's a lot of opportunity to use this card in lots of different ways. Excellent stuff. And here it is, Octo draw. We have Sea Dasher Octopus for 1 blue. It is an octopus. It's got mutate. 1 and a blue. I mentioned in a previous video, I'm pretty sure they were going to have mutate for 2 mana, and here we have it, the first one we're going to be seeing today. We are going to be seeing some others as well. So we can mutate, but it's got flash. The octopus is a 2/2 as well. But what happens with the ability? It says whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So we can flash this in onto a creature that is not being blocked, and then we will get the opportunity to draw a card. Really like this card. Extra pleased that it's an octopus. It will also link in with a card I am quite fond of, Serpent of Yawning Depths, because if we got that out on the battlefield, our octopus, if we were to just play it on its own, would also be unblockable. I just wish that the serpent had the word shark in it, because if that was the case, my mind would be blown. That would be an amazing deck. So yeah, C-Octopus, very pleased indeed. Our next card, we have Lord Drakis for 3 mana. 1 blue and a red. We have a Lizard Beast. It has Mutate. Another Mutate for 2 mana. We have Hybrid Mana, blue, red. And when this creature mutates, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. This is terrifying just for the fact of the colours it's in. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Our next card, we have Savai Thunderlion for 2 mana. Red and a white. We have an Elemental Lion with whenever you cycle a card, you may pay 2. And if you do, Savai Thunderlion deals 2 damage to target creature and you gain 2 life. So whether or not we are going to have this in a life gain deck, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, we are going to have to focus on cycling. But as we've seen earlier, there are cards in red for 1 mana that can cycle as well. So it's nice to see Boros actually get some attention. Could be quite an interesting card. Now, the next 3 cards we have Forbidden Friendship, Capture Sphere, and Cathartic Reunion. You need to see them all together because when they go together, they make an amazing story. They looked absolutely fantastic. We'll go through the cards though, obviously. We have got the first card, Forbidden Friendship. 2 mana, 1 and a red. It is a sorcery, and it says create a 1/1 red dinosaur creature token with haste, and a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. So there we go. We have the beginning of our story. We have both of the characters. It'd be great to see what the tokens look like as well in the future. But excellent looking card. And then the story continues, where we then come across Capture Sphere. Something has happened. The poor dino is in trouble. And there is the human. So we have for 3 and a blue, we have an enchantment, an aura. It's got flash. And you can enchant creature. When Capture Sphere enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So there we have it. But all is not lost, because we shall get to the final part of the story with Cathartic Reunion. 1 and a red, we have a sorcery. And as you can see in the picture, they are back together. It's all good. Amazing set of cards. As an additional cost, to cast this spell, discard 2 cards and then draw 3. So quality stuff. A good ending for all. Really like these 3 cards. Absolutely fantastic. Next we have another cat. We have Frondland Felidar. For 2 green and a white, we have a cat beast with vigilance. It's a 3/5. And creatures you control with vigilance have 1 tap and tap target creature. This looks pretty exciting. If you like cats and you want to go cat tribal, this will be fantastic stuff. If we could go vigilance tribal, that will be very interesting. And just shut everything down. So be very interested to see, and very excited too, regarding what on earth we can do with this card. Our next card, I'm liking this one a lot. We have Sanctuary Lockdown. For 2 and a white, we have an enchantment. With humans you control, get +1/+1. And for 2, you can tap 2 untapped humans you control and tap a target creature an opponent controls. This obviously is going to go in the Tribal Humans deck, which I'm sure we're going to see. I think it's definitely going to go in the Orzhov equivalent, especially with General Kudrow as well, because he also gives humans +1/+1. Really do like this card. Next up, we have got Exuberant Wolf Bear. For 3 and a green, we have a Wolf Bear, funnily enough. And whenever Exuberant Wolf Bear attacks, you may change the base power and toughness of target human you control to Exuberant Wolf Bear's power and toughness until the end of turn. I love the artwork. The fact that the little humans on the back of the Wolf Bear clinging on. And yeah, obviously, if you happen to have a deck with a huge number of humans or just a couple that are absolutely massive and then a selection of wolf bears, I mean, it's a 4/4 for 4. So already it's great, but the ability to swap and make it even larger, and basically have the human attack that leaps off the top of this wolf. Is excellent stuff indeed. Really like this card. Our next card, we have Cub Warden. For 3 and a white, we have a cat. It has mutate cost, 2 white, and it is a 3/5 lifelinker. So 3/5 lifelinker, cat tribal, 4 mana is quite tasty. It also has the ability of when this creature mutates, create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. So this is, if you like lifelink, pretty good card. It's not legendary, so we can have multiples, and the ability, if we are going to be going down a mutate route, to create additional cards, all having lifelink as well, with Ajani's Pride Mate still in standard, could be an interesting thing, shall we say. So yeah, if life gain is your bag, we have some more cards available. And our next card, an absolute bomb. It's going to be just horrendous. I'm very excited to see what actually we can use with this card. Lurrus of the Dream Den. We have for 3 mana, 1 and then hybrid, white, black, a legendary creature, a cat nightmare. So again, more cats. Has lifelink, more lifelink. It's a 3/2. It can be your companion, so we can have this at the side of our deck whenever we need it. It's not part of our 60. It's just there. When we've got the 3 mana we want to play it, we can drop this. But the only way we can play this as a companion is have our entire deck have to follow some rules. And for this one, it is each permanent card in your starting deck has a converted mana cost of 2 or less. So if we're going ultra low curve, we could play this. What does it do? During each of your turns, you may cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard. So graveyard shenanigans, here we come. If we can have lots of things with ETBs, it could be absolutely fantastic. We could use Burglar Rats, and every time they come in, opponent discards a card. We could have Cauldron's Familiar. We can have another cat. We can gain a life and drain our opponent. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much we can do with this card. Seriously exciting, and I can't wait to see what horrible things we can do with this. Amazing stuff. Our next card, we have Tentative Connection. For 3 and a red, we have a sorcery. With this spell costs 3 less to cast if you control a creature with menace. So we have a fair few menace creatures in standard, a fair few in the new set, and we also have the ability to create menace counters and put them on creatures that technically didn't have menace originally. So we are possibly going to be able to do this for 1 mana. And what do? We gain control of a target creature until the end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until the end of turn. So we've got an Act of Treason in red again, but possibly cheaper if we jump through some hoops. I think this is going to be pretty cool in possibly a black-red menace deck. It's always nice to swing in with your opponent's creatures out of the blue. So yeah, I quite like this card. Excellent stuff indeed. Our next card, we have Blitz of the Thunderraptor. 1 and a red. We have an instant. With Blitz of the Thunderraptor, deals damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to the number of instants and sorcery cards in your graveyard. If that creature or planeswalker would die this turn, exile it instead. We're going to see this. It's going to be in Izzet decks, I'm pretty sure. And we'll probably see it all over the place. It's going to be a fantastic removal spell for some big creatures if we are spell heavy. I like it and I don't. It will depend on which decks it goes in. But it is definitely needed just for the fact that we have some rather large creatures in this set. And our final card is Patagia Tiger. For 4 and white, we have a cat. It's got flying. It's a 3/4. And when the tiger enters the battlefield, target human you controls gets +2/+2 till the end of turn. So 5 mana. It is quite costly, but if you're going cat tribal, you do need another one. Having a cat that can fly, I suppose, is quite good. Obviously, having a pump and giving a human +2/+2 if you happen to be playing humans in your deck. But if you're playing humans, I'm sure you're going to be playing other cards rather than a 5-mana cat that is going to slightly help one of your humans. So not too sure about this card, but like I've mentioned, it's a cat, and if that is your thing, then you have another one to choose from. So there we have it. Those are the spoilers for today. All I'd like to say is thank you very, very much indeed for watching. If you want to drop in the comments your favourite card and why, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And we will see you again soon here on Cardboard Badger.